There further debate?
Mr. President,
Senator Lenny.
to debate the bill.
You have the floor.
Thank you, sir. So I was going a little bit different direction than some of the other senators have taken today. I was talking to a doctor buddy on Sunday. I called him Sunday. He's well versed in all of this type of stuff when it comes to like chemicals and those sorts of things. I said, hey, tell me about, didn't tell him about the bill or anything. I said, what do you know about glyphosate? And he said, oh, how long do you have? So I'm not going to go into the whole conversation, but he told me a couple things and I took some notes. He said, well, first of all, the first thing that he told me about, he said glyphosate's a chelating agent, which means it binds to certain minerals and nutrients and prevents them from being absorbed into weeds or plants or whatever, which is what makes glyphosate a good weed killer, because it prevents the weeds from getting the nutrients and minerals they need to proliferate. But he said it does the same thing to the human body. If glyphosate is absorbed into our system, it does the same thing. It goes through, and he said it strips calcium and minerals and nutrients from our bones, and it does that in the human body, which isn't great, obviously. But he also said there's another thing you need to know. It's something called a forever chemical. I forgot the scientific name, but he said people call it a forever chemical, meaning that once glyphosate or chemicals like that are absorbed into your body, that your body has no way to eliminate them. It's just in your system forever. And he said it poisons everything in the body from the cell wall all the way down to your DNA, little by little, slowly by slowly, which is how we, in his opinion, I'm no doctor, which is how it leads to cancer, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and these other types of diseases, similar to the letter we have here from Merrill Hodge of Pocatello, kind of mimicked his experience. All of this to say, when we talk about things like that, everyone says, well, trust the science, it's safe and effective. These phrases have been thrown around a lot lately in the past several years, and they're used, in my opinion, as blanket justifications for the government to do just about anything they want to do. Mr. President, do I need permission to read from U.S. federal code? Okay. So,
Typically, we cite the code. We get a little bit more specific than you just were. And then everybody, if they're in a good mood, they don't object, you read.
A bit rusty. I haven't, so I would like...
So from where do you read, Senator?
I would like permission to read from 42 U.S. Code 300 AA-22 Standards of Responsibility.
Having cited the source, the Senator may read.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's brief. It says, no vaccine manufacturer shall be liable in a civil action for damages arising from a vaccine-related injury or death associated with the administration of a vaccine after October 1st, 1988, if the injury or death resulted from side effects that were unavoidable, even though the vaccine was properly prepared and was accompanied by proper directions and warnings. I think this gets to the heart of some of what the senator from District 29 was saying. So we already have in code that pharmaceutical companies with regard to vaccinations have immunity from lawsuits. And here with this bill, we are now trying to do the same thing and give other multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies total and complete immunity from pesticides. And I can't help but think if the science is solid and if these products are safe and effective, then what's the worry? Why are so many lawsuits? You know, there's tens of thousands of lawsuits on this. That doesn't mean someone is right or wrong, but if there was no problem, I don't think we'd be seeing tens and thousands of lawsuits. So when I hear trust the science, I immediately ask myself, what science are we trusting? The science of the EPA that says glyphosate is not likely to be carcinogenic? Are we trusting the science from University of Washington that in 2019 came out with a study saying that glyphosate brings with it a 41% risk of increase for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma? Are we trusting the science of the IARC, which is a member of the World Health Organization, came out with a study in 2019 that said glyphosate is probably carcinogenic. There's studies all over the place for this, but we also have stories like Merrill Hodge of people who are affected by glyphosate that I just don't think we should ignore. So wrapping this up, Senators, if we're giving Big Pharma a hall pass here, I think to the Senator from District 15's point, I think this could actually end up codifying harm done to the agricultural industry, to ag workers. I think we're trading, again, crops for cancer, potentially, and we're sacrificing our future for the present. And, you know, lastly, I don't think that giving lifetime immunity to multi-billion-dollar pharmaceutical companies was on our constituents' bingo card when they sent us here. So, thank you, Mr. President.